Hi guys, this is your happiness therapist Vedantika, and today I want to talk about assertiveness. Now, people often confuse assertiveness as aggressiveness. That is why they're afraid to imbibe on it and embrace it. But actually, being assertive is the most morally correct thing you can do in your life. Assertiveness means that you are aware about your opinions and your feelings. You state them to yourself and others without disrespecting anybody else's opinions or feelings. Assertive people are actually very gentle, kind, and peace loving, and they know how to create healthy boundaries because you have the rights to be equally happy like anybody else. But the mistake in perceiving being assertive is the fact that we feel if we become assertive, we'll become aggressive, we'll become dominating, we'll become rude and manipulative, like the way we've been treated. But the truth is, assertiveness gives you the courage to stand up against all of this. I personally absolutely appreciate people who are peace loving, who do not want conflicts and can resolve matter. But what happens is, if you're not assertive, you tend to take the other person's bad behavior, bad decisions, and passively go with what is wrong. That is worse than having a conflict. You rather put across your point to the person and risk an argument than take anybody's wrong judgment and lead life in that way. Because what happens is you will start leading two kinds of life. One on the surface level of accepting, and second of your opinion and your truth. And eventually, you will start getting disconnected from your own personal identity. So, being assertive is extremely important. Inner conflicts is worse than outer conflicts because that is something then you train yourself to live with, and it will move you into unhealthy ways of living. Please start saving your precious planet time. Learn to stand up for yourself gracefully so you can be an example of how assertiveness is supposed to be exercised. So I'm going to give you tips on how to get to the version of being assertive. Follow the steps and you will hit success. So it is proven by psychologists and psychotherapists that assertiveness is a skill which is learnable. So the first step that you need to learn is healthy communication. Aim for a very honest, open, peaceful communication with the person. Now you have to understand, truth is not your or mine, it is universal. So once you target the conversation from a true perspective, it will rise the energy and everybody's attitudes in the room, because who can escape the truth eventually? Don't forget to smile and be graceful about it. Point number 2, stay calm. Now, whenever you're talking to somebody and somebody is trying to be aggressive or manipulating you and it's triggering you and you are understanding it, stay calm in those moments, because as soon as you want to be assertive, sometimes it can get out aggressively if you don't cool yourself down from within. So compose yourself, understand what the person is saying, put down your points mentally or on a piece of paper, and then assertively, kindly, gracefully say it. If you don't calm yourself, you will not be able to put it out assertively, it will come out aggressively. Point number 3, know the difference between opinionated people and people who value their opinion. Now, the difference between these two is that opinion is like an asshole. Every human being has one. So there are people who will keep throwing their opinions, and if you're not an assertive person, you will get intimidated by this attitude. But you need to understand that you are a person who values your opinion. You don't want to just keep throwing it across. You value it and you will state it in the time of need and be reasonable about it. So know the difference between people who are opinionated and people who value their opinion. That discrimination will automatically teach you eventually where you want to speak up and where you want to coolly just sit down. Point number 4, exercise your courage muscles. This is my most favorite point and a space where I learned assertiveness personally, because your life will either expand or contract depending upon how and where you speak up for yourself. Please understand, guys, that courage is very important. It's one of the most important attributes of your life. If you know the difference between danger and fear, you will be successful. Danger is real. Fear is an illusion, and it is all cooked up stories in our minds or learned from somebody else. So know that you have to exercise your courage muscles if you really want a healthy, happy life. Point number 5, have your back. Having your back is actually standing up for your own self, but there is also a different way of having your back. Most times we expect the other person to treat us well without us articulating to them where they've gone wrong. Having your back will give you the courage to go up to them and tell them, because this is a very high expectation from life. You are feeling bad, you are feeling all the feelings, the other person knows nothing and they are supposed to behave themselves. No, doesn't work like that. Have the courage to tell the person what you're feeling. For that, you need to be your own superhero and have your back. Point number 6, create healthy boundaries. Now, a healthy boundary is something which is a limit. It is created by you, so nobody can overstep it or violate it. Please understand, no matter how close somebody is to you or how much you love them, they understand it as a breach of trust. This will also expose to you how many people truly value you and how many don't. Point number 7, practice in front of the mirror. Now, how silly it may sound, I know, but there are a lot of people who don't have enough self-esteem and self-confidence, and it is a true task to say it out loud. So what you can do is stand in front of the mirror and have the conversation as honestly as you wish to have it with the other person. If you want to cry, if you want to feel bad, see to it that you remove it, so that when you present yourself to this person, you do it gracefully and you articulate yourself well. Practicing yourself in front of the mirror always helps a lot. It's helped me in a lot of ways in my life. So don't take it for granted. Practice. Take out all the things that are toxic, say things that are meaningful and adding to the other person's understanding, and you will hit success. Point number 8, spend time alone with yourself. I think isolation is a very powerful space. It helps you really form your opinions and values as a person. Sometimes it's not important to use another person as a bouncing board. Sometimes you just have to sit with yourself to know yourself better, because you could be exercising these opinions with people who share the same fears as you. So if you want to be assertive, learn to be with yourself so you know what you exactly want in your life. Point number 9, know the difference between attach and detach. Attach yourself to the truth and detach yourself from people. We often attach ourselves to people, which leads to detachment from truth, and that can create an illusion and a delusion in life. So please know that the truth prevails, and that is something you should attach yourself from. When we attach ourselves to people, that's when sometimes we can go in a downward spiral by not exactly telling the other person how we feel, and that is not a healthy way to function. Point number 10, the last point of this video, learn to say no. Now, the word no is not a bad word, it's a necessary word, and it will help your decision-making skills in life. Your graph of life will naturally improve if you set aside and say no to things, rather than being a people pleaser or fearful of the word no and saying hanji and yes. It's not going to help you in life. So know your limits, what you can do, what you cannot do. Don't go over and above, because there is so much to do in life. So these were my 10 points on how you can learn to be assertive. It's a practice. Teach yourself, remind yourself, you are your longest commitment. Love yourself enough to be assertive. And thank you for watching this video.